Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there friends, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. And this week and next week, we're going to do Psalm 73. We're going to do part 1 this week and part 2 next week. So I'm dividing this psalm into halves. We're going to do halfers. So we're going to do 1 through 14 this week and 15 through 28 next week. And as I set you up for this last time, I said this is one of my favorite psalms. Now, I know I say that a lot, but this is a significant psalm. And I want you to really dig in with me these next 2 weeks here in Psalm 73. We're going to look at this psalm in a 2-week span so we can really do a verse-by-verse examination of it. This psalm begins the third book of the Psalter. So we're going to look at Psalm 73, and that's going to take us through the end of this third book. Remember, there are 5 books in the Psalms. The Psalter is a combination now of 5 different books, and this psalm begins the third section, or the third book. This psalm does not have an introduction, so this is one of the orphanic psalms. We don't know who wrote it. There's no autograph. Nothing says of David or for Solomon or of Solomon or whoever. There's nothing here. This psalm deals with the problem of evil in the world. So when someone says, why do bad things happen to good people? That's kind of what this psalm addresses. But more directly, it addresses the question, why do evil people prosper? How can God be just if evil people prosper? That's sort of the question really that the psalmist wrestles with throughout the psalm. And he's going to set it up for us here in these first 3 verses. So let me begin by reading these first 3 verses. And now, if you want some background to this, and if you want a little commentary to help you with this, look at Psalm 37 and look at Psalm 49. 37 and 49 set you up for 73. 73 is a very personal account of the question of why do wicked people prosper, so therefore is God unjust? And 73 and 49 will help you so that when you come here to 73, you're like, oh, wait a minute, I remember what was said in those other Psalms and how it relates to this question. Okay, so let me read the first 3 verses here for us. Truly God is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious of the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Again, the question or the problem is stated here in verse 3. I saw the prosperity of the wicked. So that's the problem. That's really problem number 1. Problem number 2 is he's on the verge of despair. Look at there in verse 2. My feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. So he sees the problem of the wicked prospering, and he thinks to himself about it, and it causes an emotional reaction. He is in despair over this, on the verge of, he says, my feet were almost gone, my steps had well nigh slipped, and we know that language, because we've had it so many times in the Psalms, is that the steps of the man are the foundation of living. His steps are in the way of the Lord. If his steps are slipping, then falling means that he's falling out of God's way. So he feels like there's nothing left for him. But he begins with this overarching statement in 1 when he says, God is good. Truly God is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. So God is good to those who have a clean heart, which puts us in opposition to the prosperity of the wicked. Now, he's going to explore both of those throughout the psalm, so I hope you'll join me tomorrow. We're going to look at verses 4, 5, and 6 here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.